To empower students through their stories of trauma. Joining us this morning is Detroit Collegiate High School English teacher and author Sarita Darby, and also student author Ernisha Byers. They, along with other students, helped pen the book Forbidden Tears. This is so exciting, something that I've never heard of before, starting with poetry, right? Poems of people, students, people in your class, I assume,
yes.
And turning this into a book. I mean, tell me what people can expect. What is this book all about?
Forbidden Tears comes from the fact that being labeled as Black children and kids, that people don't really think we experience things, which we carry this pain and this hurt on ourselves, which makes it forbidden.
That's really deep. Really deep. So tell me, you're the teacher, right? So
Yes.
Tell me, you know, this was just a typical class assignment. How did this all get started?
Well, so I am a social justice educator, so I see through a very particular lens. So I noticed as a nation, our education system, unfortunately, was not addressing student trauma in the classroom. So not addressing it and not even acknowledging the extent to which it exists. So I knew that in my classroom, by the time my kids left, they would feel a sense of healing. So I'm an English teacher, so I came up with this idea to tell their stories through storytelling. So where they can give their trauma a voice, they can give their trauma a purpose, and they can actually turn their pain into power, right?
Beautiful.
So we started with like these healing sessions where we all sat in circles, and I put my greatest vulnerabilities on the table first, where I shared my story, and then all my kids followed after, and they ran with it. So this project has been 100% their hands into it. They have given it their all, and they're finally able to share it with the world.
Were you surprised when you guys all did start opening up what you heard from your students?
Yes, I was surprised, but I was also expecting it because we created that environment for them, that safe place for them to open up. So
yeah, so it's incredible. And so how do you go from this, you know, this session where you just are exposing your vulnerabilities to penning this into a book?
So giving them like a purpose. So they were supposed to write for purpose and with purpose. And so when we told them, hey, the rest of the world is going to see this book, they were all hands in, so they were ready to share with the rest of the world from the beginning to the end.
Yeah. And Ernisha, I mean, tell me about the role that you had in the book.
I'm a student author in the book, and I'm also the editor, which means I help my peers also bring out their stories.
Okay. How are there people in your class that were maybe a little hesitant or more reserved about sharing their story? How did you get other students to sort of overcome that?
We kind of made it comfortable for them. Like, we didn't judge them. We didn't like go for them for telling their stories. We just told them to do it and go for it.
And share as much as you want to share, I assume.
Yeah.
I mean, however much you feel comfortable sharing. And I assume now that you have the finished product, I mean, it must be so just rewarding to see it, to actually tangibly hold something like that. What is the plan? What do you want to do with the book? Where do you want it to go?
So we want to get our book into many hands as we can, and we also want to turn our book into a bigger purpose to where we help other students around the Detroit area heal from their pain as well.
Yeah. So are you in talks? I mean, is this a program that you could see, you know,
Absolutely, absolutely.
being implemented in other schools?
Absolutely. So our students are already forming that idea, so it's kind of like a stay tuned thing. But for the copies of the book, if anyone wants to grab a copies, I would like to speak more towards the proceeds. The proceeds from the book will actually go to fund a trip to Costa Rica, and that's really important to our students, as a lot of them haven't seen the world outside Michigan or the Midwestern area, so that would be an opportunity to them for further heal from their pain as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And tell people where they can buy it.
So we hope to be in a lot of bookstores soon, or especially in the Metro Detroit area, but right now you can actually purchase the book on Amazon. So if you type in Forbidden Tears book, it will actually be the first item that comes up, so you can make that purchase now.
Oh, so it's great. It's very accessible. I'm happy to hear that. Well, thank you so much for coming on and sharing this incredible story.